Hi everyone, this is Dave from Geekanoids and I wanted to bring you a video with my opinion on the just announced Canon EOS 5D Mark III. Now for those of you who know me through my videos, you will know that I'm a Canon shooter. About 3, maybe 4 months ago I moved across from Nikon to Canon. I did have a little bit of investment in the Nikon range of lenses, and I had a Nikon D800, but it didn't cost me too much to switch across to Canon, and I did that mainly for the video capabilities of the 60D, which is this one here. I've got a couple of lenses for it which are really good. I've got the 50mm f1.4, awesome lens, really pleased with that, and I've also got a 24-105L lens, so quite a bit invested in lenses in the Canon front, but not enough to stop me moving back across to Nikon, which is a possibility because they recently announced a couple of weeks back their D800 and D800E. Now I will be doing a little bit of comparison between the D800 and the new Canon 5D Mark III, and I'll reveal at the end of this video whether I'm going to make that switch back or not. So you have to stay watching until the end. But let's run through the main sort of points or the main specs of the 5D Mark III. 22.3 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor, and that's up from the 5D Mark II, which I think had 21 megapixels. It's also got a new autofocus system, 61 point AF, and 41 of those points are cross type, and I think it's either 8 or 9, correct me if I'm wrong, that are double cross points, so even more sensitivity and accuracy and speed when it comes to the AF system. It's got zone, spot and AF point expansion focusing modes, a Digic 5 Plus processor, up to 6 frames per second shooting, amazing, so that's going to be really good for sports and action photography. It's sort of getting up to what would be very useful for that particular type of photography. We've got ISO 100 to 25,600, and you can expand that at the bottom end down to 50 ISO and at the top end up to 102,400 ISO. We've got ±5 stops of exposure compensation. There's also HDR mode in camera. I've got mixed feelings about that. I've always thought that HDR in camera is a little bit of a gimmick, and if you're going to do HDR properly, you're going to take those photos manually and then stack them in Photoshop. So if it works well, it's good, but I think the real pros that concentrate on HDR photography are going to do that sort of post-processing. Movie mode. Well, this is something that the 5D Mark II excelled at, and something that my 60D does extremely well too. There's not a lot of changes when it comes to video. We've not got 60 frames per second in 1920 by 1080. We've only got 60 frames per second if we drop down to 720p video mode, which is still good. 60 frames per second allows you to slow down 2.5 times and still get really nice smooth motion. So at least we've got that option if we drop the resolution down. It's also got a new thing called All-I or IPB compression when you're shooting video. Now I haven't got my head round this properly yet, but I think All-I means that it treats each frame that it captures separately, results in bigger files, but also in a better sort of data transfer rate, so you're going to get more detail in the videos. There's also timecode setting for HD movie shooting, a headphone port for monitoring the audio, very good as well, 59 millisecond shutter lag, 100% coverage in the viewfinder, a 3.2 inch screen now, so a big step up in screen size and resolution, which is now 1.04 million pixels, an EOS integrated cleaning system, dual card slots, one of them's compact flash, one of them's SD, and this next feature I really liked. This interested me a lot because there were a few things in the main specs that let me down, but this one was really nice, and that is on the back. I can't really show you on this one because it's a little bit of a different control wheel, but on the back of the 5D Mark III we've got the normal control wheel, but when you're in video mode, it might work in both modes, but I think it's mainly when you're actually shooting video, the control button or wheel becomes touch sensitive. So instead of clicking it round, you can probably hear this. Yeah, so instead of having to click and that click translating into noise on your video plus possible movement in the camera body, it becomes touch sensitive, so you only have to touch to change things like audio levels whilst you're recording. Really good. Dual axis electronic level it's also got as well. So they're sort of the main specifications, which I think are really good. A lot of people were expecting a big step up in resolution, and I think they were expecting that in response to Nikon's D800 and D800E. Now just to cover off, the Nikon D800 has got an XP3 image processor, only 4 frames per second on the continuous shooting, but it is handling a lot more data because it's shooting at, I think it's 36, I'm just referring to my notes here, 36.3 megapixels. Nikon also stepped up their game with the D800 and 800E by offering up full 1080p D movie mode, as they call it, at 30, 25 and 24 frames per second. They've also got a nice high resolution screen on the D800 and 800E as well, and some great features. Very fast processor for a start, and that massive 36.3 megapixel resolution. Now, some people have taken it really negatively that Canon only offered up 22.3 megapixels. If you look at it from a perspective of maybe studio photography, where you're going for real high amount of detail, then yes, the Nikon D800 may be the better choice because it will hopefully resolve more detail. However, if you look at it in a positive way for the Canon, then the 22.3 megapixels should ensure that we've got larger pixels to play with, and they should resolve lower noise. So that's just my take on it. So we should be able to maybe gain a couple of stops when we're taking photography or photos in lower light. Also, the Canon EOS 5D Mark III does have, in my opinion, a superior autofocus system. When both cameras come out and they're in people's hands, that might prove differently. The other thing that I like with the Canon 5D Mark III is also that the 22 megapixel mark is really ideal for HD video. I don't think you're going to gain anything by cramming more megapixels onto the sensor. And don't forget, these are both full frame sensors, but I just think that the Canon is going to be more suited to video. Again, I might be wrong. I may well be wrong. Weather sealing also on the 5D Mark III. I think that also follows through on the Nikon D800. And as I said at the beginning of this video, this isn't going to be a comparison video really. I'm just giving you some of my opinion about the Nikon D800 as well. Now, that's all of the specifications I'm going to cover really in this video. I just want to really offer up just my final thoughts. When Nikon first announced their D800 and D800E, I was clamouring all over it. I was thinking, wow, 33.6, or what is it again? I've forgotten. Is it 33? Yeah, 36.3 megapixels. And I was thinking, wow, I'm going to have to sell my lenses and I'm going to switch again back to Nikon. And then the announcement came out that there was an invitation going out for the Canon launch, and everyone was rumouring that it was going to be the 5D Mark III. So I thought, right, we'll sit and wait and see what happens. And then they announced the specifications at 22.3, and initially I was a little bit disappointed, but then when you read further into it, we have got some rather small, sort of what I'd say incremental upgrades. But then don't forget, they've also put in a whole new sensor in this camera. So even though we've only gained sort of 1 megapixel from the 5D Mark II, the new sensor, if it performs as they're claiming it will mean we've got much better video options and video clarity, also much better noise handling, and the 61 AF, from what I've heard from the people who've actually handled the camera, is super super fast. Now the 6 frames per second is not of an interest to me really, because I don't do sports or action photography. But just overall, I think, well no actually, I know I'm going to reveal to you that I will not be switching from Canon back to Nikon. If I had the money, I would have both bodies. Of course I would. I'd have a Nikon in one hand and the Canon in the other, so that I could experience both systems at the same time. But I don't have that sort of money, so all I can say is that my next upgrade will be from the Canon 60D, and I'll probably still keep this. I'll probably keep this as a backup camera, but my next upgrade will be the Canon EOS 5D Mark III. I forgot to tell you about pricing as well, didn't I? How silly of me. Well, the pricing difference between the two as well might sway you one way or the other. It hasn't swayed me. Nikon D800 is 2399. Canon EOS 5D Mark III 2999. So £600 more. That is a big difference, and some people might be swayed by this massive 36.3 megapixels on the Nikon. As I say, for me, I'm going to be sticking with the Canon brand for now, because I can just buy body only and use my existing L lens and my brilliant 50mm f1.4. Let me know what you think of both cameras in the comments. Do you shoot Canon or Nikon? Are you disappointed with 5D Mark III? Did you expect more? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.